We remind guests that flash photography is strictly prohibited, and that Bold TV is the exclusive live stream for this event. Do not live stream, broadcast, or FaceTime from your personal devices at any time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these athletes a round of applause as they begin round 4. Forward. When your arrows are up, your lanes are on, you may begin your tournament play. Good luck and good bowling.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Gold Coast Hotel and Casino, right here in the entertainment capital of the world in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the continued coverage of the 2022 Team USA Trials here on Bold TV. My name is Emil Williams Jr. Please be joined, of course, with Aaron Smith, Jason Thomas, Matt Canizaro, and the entire staff and crew of Team USA Trials and Gold Coast. Of course, we'll take you right out to the lanes here, as we will start with the overall leader after 3 days of competition. That is one Shannon Puhalski right now with 7 points overall, 7 points. And we talked about at the beginning of the week, and we'll go over the format if we need to, of course, as well. But the lower the score and the overall ranking points, the better your position. And right now, Shannon, with 7 overall ranking points, she is leading the way after 3 full days of competition. What will day 4 bring? Well, that is the case. That is the question, because it's kind of been on the list of things to watch out for. Today's pattern, 45 feet, with if you look at the graph, what is intended to be, and by all intents and purposes and accounts, a speed bump as well. And so how will the players manage this speed bump? What will it look like down lane? How will it transition? We'll find all of those things out as we get into it a little bit. Apologize for the brief delay, but all things are well inside the building, and we are underway with competition. This is game 1 of 6, and there you see your leader right there. Second shot of the day, first on the right lane for Shannon. 10-pin to begin the day here. We'll go over the standings. It was a very good day overall for all of the players, both men and women. We saw some score. There were some strikes to be had. Many thought that the day 3 pattern would be the easier, quote unquote, of the 5. So far, that did indicate, or at least yesterday's performances indicated that was indeed the case. Led by Shannon O'Keefe's plus 246 block for 6 games. Again, O'Keefe went plus 246. That included a 299 game during yesterday's round 3 block as well. Puhalski finished second overall on the block to continue to really increase her overall lead. And so by finishing second, she added 2 points to her total. She came into yesterday with 5. So what will today bring? We'll certainly find out. Other scores of note yesterday included Julia Bonds plus 198. Back-to-back days for Julia Bond, of which she has performed admirably. She led day 2, finished tied for second on day 3. And JB overall is second with 23 ranking points. Again, Puhalski first with 7. Bond second with 23 points. Now that is a bit of a gap, obviously, but the way the format is, if Shannon has an uncharacteristic performance today, well, she could be potentially adding a lot of ranking points to her already great total. It's good to get off to the great start that she is. She's allowed herself a little bit of wiggle room in that regard. Ashley Rucker overall is third, up to from Oklahoma with 37 points so far. Right now, she is the highest ranking amateur in the overall field. Hope Gramley is fourth after a stellar day. She has 40 points. And right now, if you were to take the top 4 of Puhalski, Bond, Rucker, and Gramley, those individuals would earn the 4 automatic spots onto Team USA. For the U.S. Amateur, right now it would be Ashley Rucker, Hope Gramley, and you'd have to go down to 8th, which would be Anna Callan, as long as she is age eligible, which I believe she is. She is a freshman at Nebraska. So still much to be determined with 2 full days of competition remaining. Good morning to all of our Bowl TV subscribers. And good morning to those watching on the Bowl TV YouTube channel, as well as the Sport of Bowling USBC Facebook page. Morgan Nunn, again, Shannon Puhalski and Brenna Madison. Caitlin Orasek, Kristen Durr, and Katharina Mente to start here game 1. Shannon O'Keefe is down on the low end for those who may be curious. See where Julia Bond, she's actually just outside of camera range as well. She starts on 25 and 26. Other scores of note yesterday, Brianna Cote had a very nice day at plus 118. Alyssa Ballard, plus 123. The youth definitely shined yesterday. Tyler Van Dunen. Carly Van Dunen got to plus 109. Ashton Woods got to plus 126. Caroline Thayer got to plus 105. Sydney Brummett was plus 112. Paige Peters had a very nice day. She opened scoring yesterday with a 275 game and finished at plus 173 to finish 4th overall on the day. She actually will receive a block award. Hope Gramley led for the majority of the day from about games 2, I think, until game 5, where she shot 167 and 196 in her final 2 games, her lowest 2 of the day. That dropped her from essentially 1st to 5th overall, but in great position, as we talked about. So this 45-foot lane condition, it is, let's say what we call not for the faint of heart, at least by the graph. But speed looks to be the main key, controlling one speed. You get a little fast, it may not, or it could spell trouble. be sure to check the graph at bowl.com/Team USA Trials. Or if you're watching on bowltv.com, click the star icon. And there's all the information that you need. You can see some of the forward conditioner buffed out to 45 feet. And then you can see what looks to be about a 5 to 7 foot little bump area at about 41, 42 feet. All the way down, to, of course, to 45 feet. So very interesting look. If you know Nick Hoagland, he likes interesting things. 28.89 mils of total volume for the women's day 4 pattern. Men's pattern, similar look, of course, with some minor differences to volume and ratio. These two pairs bowling pretty quickly here, with each with 3 on a pair. I was very curious to see how the players, it'll be the same thing for the men's squad this afternoon, how they start and where they start. Like any 10-minute warm-up session, you see a little bit of everything. I think one of the key differences yesterday was the ability for the players to, specifically on the women's squad, to kind of start in a similar area and all move in similar fashions, which I think helped overall open up the pattern a little bit, allow for some additional scores to be set. Will that happen today? I don't know. It's, you know, when you see something different and something you may not like, it's very easy to kind of deflect and do what you need to do and do what you feel is best and most comfortable for you. Not a bad shot there from Morgan Nunn. Hello. Oh. We'll take that. Gold Coast has been a fantastic host. I want to thank Hoffman, entire staff, specifically Lewis, great manager here at the bowling center. 2 more days of competition left. Of course, tomorrow evening, after the full day of competition, first and foremost, we'll have the U.S. Amateur Step Ladder Finals, both men and women. And then that will be followed by the Team USA and Junior Team USA, essentially announcements. It's almost like a selection show, really. Probably what we should call it. We do cover the entire announcement and selection show. All right, big double in the first double for Shannon Pluhowski. Morgan Nunn right now, 6 out of 7 to start game one. If you were to just take the rule of thumb with a long pattern, in this case it's 45 feet. Rule of 31 in that sense. By that logic, you'd be looking at a break point of around 14, which I think is still a good vantage point and something to keep in mind. You just have to account for what you know is down lane, which is the speed bump and how it will react or you will react to it. And I think it's really based on ball speed. If you are just joining us, there was a bit of a late start today. Ultimately, about 10 to 15-minute difference. And a bad shot there from Christian Durr. But you can see equipment trying to get on up the hill. Morgan, meanwhile, has kind of kept her angles really straight, although she is in. And another 10-pin. For Pluhowski. I mean, it doesn't look like it yet. I don't know what it is, but it's not purple. That I can tell from my screen. Excuse me, Daniel. That's a good question. Although I've never been to an international event in person, typically, in what I've seen and really read, there's typically like one pattern at an international event that is contested over and over again across the multiple categories or mediums, team, singles, doubles, all events, etc. But there may be still subtle differences between that pattern as far as volume and ratios amongst men and women. Could be. I see some folks are snowed in, which I hate to hear, because that just means that although we're in Vegas for a while and it's not, 90 to 100, which I'm okay with, I think it's supposed to be 63 degrees for the rest of the week or the next 7 days here. And it's like, 10 to 12 degrees where I have to go home. So all of this talk of snow just lets me know that I'm leaving Las Vegas soon. First open frame for Morgan Nunn. Fortunately, the 810. But that leaves her with 206 in the ninth and still can get to 236. Let's take a look at live scoring. See what might be brewing here. Let me drop that in a link in the chat just in case. Well, talk about some early struggles. We've seen Crystal Elliott perform really well this week, but tough sledding to start. She's got 107 in the eighth with a split in the ninth. Actually, now 116 in the ninth, so she could be looking at hopefully a game of 140. But she's going to have to double in the 10th to get that. Caroline Frazier. Decent start. She can get into the 250s. Angelica Anthony has rattled off the last 5. Possible 236. A couple of strings here. Jade Garcia with the back 4 on 57 and 58. Lauren Pate down on 49 and 50. She's got a chance to get to 280 to open up competition. We talked to Lauren's fiance, Matt, at the end of the block last night. And he said that she was very much looking forward to earning her way and trying to get back on Team USA. It's very important to her. She had a solid day overall yesterday, finished 6th overall at, I believe, plus 112 was the number. So now that doesn't sound good. That's too low. Plus 133, excuse me. Looks like Marissa Carey. She's got a chance at 279. Two things that stand out to me about those two players. Those are individuals that certainly can play left, and they've got enough hand to rev rate, and maybe some good ability regarding speed control to get to the 1-3. This could be a perfect situation for Marissa Carey, who's got some Team USA experience, junior team. Taylor Bailey has had a very nice start on 7 and 8. She can get into the 250s. And we'll follow. We'll see where Lauren Pate is going, but she might just pop out of any potential camera range after this game. think Marissa Carey may be going right. Of course, the moves this week, 12 games to the left. If you start on the left lane, if you start on the right lane, you go 12 lanes to the right. That was a good indication of what that speed bump looks like down lane. As you saw Brennan Madison's ball get to the end of the pattern, and it started to want to make a move. It was just a slower move. Really nice game to open up for Morgan Nunn. 226. Well, I tell you, the last few shots, that 10th frame was very good for Brennan Madison. I think she's got a much better handle on what the pattern is asking of her. Puhowski, high flush. So I can go bring the contrast down on the iris on that on those scoreboards there. Good morning, Jeff. Someone's talking about a 6-mile run. You guys are some really ambitious runners. 6 miles to open up your day on a Thursday. All right, 204 for Puhowski. Not a bad way to start. And, of course, unfortunately for all of our good people watching on the Bowl TV YouTube channel and the Sport of Bowling USBC Facebook page. Before we do that, let's get a quick look at a different pair of lanes before we say farewell to our good people on those respective channels. Let's get you something else to watch real quick. But while we wait, it gives us the opportunity to discuss BowlTV.com. That's the only way to watch the rest of not only this round, but this afternoon's round as well. Of course, you don't want to miss tomorrow's Day 5 competition and the U.S. Amateur Step Ladder Finals, as well as the Team USA announcements tomorrow evening. Let's make the flip over to 51 through 54. That's the end of game 1 here. Annalise O'Brien, Paige Peters, Sarah Ruby, and Peyton Rowley. With Hannah Roars, Addie Nelson, Amanda Najokis, and Nicole Gattenby. There are plenty of giveaways. In fact, we've already given away a couple of Bowl TV t-shirts. Actually, 6 Bowl TV t-shirts at this point. And an Echo Dot, a Nintendo Classic, and a pair of Apple AirPod Pros. And I think today is another pair of Apple AirPod Pros for today's grand prize. So the opportunity and the way to do that is subscribe to Bowl TV. Larry dropping some scores in the chat. James asking about the men's point totals are higher than the women's. Well, James, as you know, the point totals and ranking points are determined by performance. So essentially the higher the finish, first, second, third, the lower the points you earn, which is what you want in this event. So, for example, Shannon Pluhowski has 7 total points after 3 days of competition. Needless to say, she is crushing them. And to be fair, Trent Mitchell's 23-point total. That's still pretty good. And he's leading the way. 23 is second on the women's side. It really just shows how good Shannon Pluhowski has been through the first 3 days. Daniel has a valid point in regards to the amount of players in the field. So if you do finish in a lower position on the men's side of things, of course, there's just more players, so you'll have more of those higher ranking point totals. But from the top portion of things, leading is leading, second is second, third is third. Of course, the record 13 points accumulated by Kelly Kulick a couple seasons or years ago. On our way to the title, I believe it was 2020. Well, Paige Peters, no 275 today, but she'll take 226 to open up day 4's competition. Jason, how do you get the giveaway prize if you win? If you win, someone from the USBC marketing squad will reach out to you to gather all of the necessary information to receive that prize. Good morning to Scott Pohl. I see Troy Fisher is checking in. And final shots here for Addie Nelson.
Let's go, baby. Let's do it.
And after this, of course, we'll shut down briefly. Oh, counts on the scoreboard, Addie. Strike to get it at 195. So we know Lauren Pate in the books with 278. I did not see where Marissa Carey finished or what she finished with. She had an opportunity and a chance at 279. Crystal Elliott, the best she could have finished with was 146 in game 1, so she's got some work to do. All right, folks, and that'll do it officially for game 1. Again, folks, watching on Bowl TV, the YouTube channel, and the Sport of Bowling USBC Facebook page. We hope to see you on bowltv.com. And the subscriptions are $79.95, monthly at $9.95, or if you like the remainder of this event today, tomorrow, an opportunity to win some giveaways and see the selection show, of course, tomorrow. That is at $14.95. All of you, we'll see you on bowltv.com. Hang tight. Game 2 is next.